إلهي ألاف إلهي
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وفوز أمري إلى الله والله بصير بالعباد الحمد والثناء لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية الإكرام على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والشهداء والصالحين والصديقين وعلى خير خلقه البشير النذير السراج المنير أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين أما بعد فقد قال الحسين روحي وأرواح العالمين لمقدمه الفداء ألا وإن السنة قد أميتت وأن البدعة قد أحيت إن تطيعوا أمري أهدكم إلى سبيل الرشاد صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us in this blessed month of Muharram al-Haram and give strength and tawfiq to understand the true message of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and practice accordingly. And inshallah, as our fifth Imam, he quoted, every moment of our life can be a life of Ashura, which is we are standing for the truth with Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and everywhere we are, whether it's here or anywhere else, we can make it a land of Karabala, which is subject for all the blessings and bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please start as salawats. I talk and discuss in two last nights that in order to understand the true message of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, we need to know the event of Karabala, tragedy of Karabala. I little bit shed some lights about this event, the personalities, those who created this event, and who is Imam Hussain, who is Yazid, what are their attributes. And also we talk and discuss a little bit about the connection and link between us and Karabala and Imam Hussain, why we are commemorating after 14th century as if it happens today now. And also the outcome of this majalis should be in three main areas. One is our recognition, marifat's knowledge towards Imam Hussain should be different than what it was before. It means we have to have a good progress in that area. And also our love and compassion towards Imam Hussain should be different than what it was before, meaning we have to have a more love towards Imam Hussain, and the result of these two should be the action should be close to the actions of the companion of Imam Hussain on the day of Ashura. So all what we're talking about is about the actions, our amal, our deeds, inshallah. And then we talk and discuss about the messages of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, although this event of Ashura took place in a specific small place on the earth, specific time, but the outcome of that is before and after that event, beyond the time and beyond the place. So it's our duty to find out the true messages of Karabala, and once we find out those messages, we have to apply, and we have to judge ourselves at where we are standing, how far we are from the goals of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. If today our 12th Imam will call upon us, Hal min Nasirin, there is anyone who can help us to establish the truth on the earth, we should be ready, and we should have no hesitation, no excuse to be aside from that path. So that was the goal. And I said the first and foremost point about the messages is, once you want to start anything, you should not deceive others. What it is, you have to go and you have to tell. By that you can have a better result. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he did not deceive people by saying some false hopes to the people, like all the politicians, what they do, that I'm going to establish the government, I'm going to give this position to you, that position to you, and come and help me. No, Imam Hussain alayhi salam straightforward, he said, the body of the Muslim Ummah has been poisoned, damaged by the diseases, and is standing to cure these diseases. The cure of this disease is my blood, and blood of those who wants to stand. So we want to give our blood and want to sacrifice. By sacrificing us, we can give a new life to the body of Islam, to Islam. There was no ambiguities in the message of Imam Hussain. And the second message is obviously the Iman, which is faith of Imam Hussain and all the companions, those who join with Imam Hussain alayhi salam. No matter those who just join like her in last moment, same day, or those who were with Imam Hussain alayhi salam from the day first. All of them, they had a deep faith, unshakable Iman. No one can shake their Iman and faith. The hadith which we have from our 5th Imam and 6th Imam and other Imams, Al-Mu'minu kal-Jabal al-Rasikh, the faith of a believer is unshakable, and believer is like a mountain. No one can shake the believer. So that's the Iman which we are talking about. And then last night we talked and discussed a little bit about the obstacles and problems and afat of this faith and Iman. One of the obstacles or problems of the Iman is ujb. Ujb is something I am proud of. It's okay to have like some sort of pride sometime, but the ujb, which is the pride in Iman, will burn our Iman. In order to understand a little bit better, just I would like to go to a beautiful story of one of the great prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Hazrat Musa. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he was obviously one of the great prophet, messenger. Even he reached to a position of Ulul Azm meaning the higher rank, among all 124,000 prophets. Only 5 of them they reached to this position. He was among them. He blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the book, 10 commandments, and so on and so forth, with all those beautiful blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, positions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. While he was coming back, دخله العجب في قلب موسى. In the hearts of Musa there was some sort of pride. Wow, I'm someone. Got all these beautiful positions, blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Same moment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not going to leave us alone in a disaster position. We have a beautiful dua for our fifth Imam and also fourth Imam. Ilahi la takilni ila nafsi tarfata aynin abada. Oh Allah, don't leave me by myself even for a split second, blinking of the eyes. A split second. I don't want to be myself. Always I want to be in the shadow of your presence, your blessings, your attention. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded his angel Jibreel, Ya Jibreel, adrik Musa qabla an yahlik. Oh Jibreel, go and save Musa before he dies or he destroy himself or his iman and faith. He's a prophet, and even for Musa this is not good. So what happened is Jibreel came to Musa with the message, Ya Musa, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to become a student of whom? Unknown, normal person who is not prophet, not Nabi, not Imam. His name is Khizr. Musa, go and be a student of Khizr. For Musa, it was not easy being in that high position. Like if you see a professor and you tell to the professor, go and become a student of, for example, not even high school teacher or a simple person. For him it is difficult. For Musa it was difficult. But Musa, he was a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was looking for teacher, Khizr. You know what? When he saw Hazrat Khizr first time and he approached him that it's a command of Allah, I want to become your student. Hazrat Khizr, he did not accept him. He denies him by saying, Innaka lan tastati' ma'iya sabra. You have no patience. You cannot bear with me. It means you're not qualified to be my student. Wow. Musa in this highest level, and this is what he got from Khizr. He said, Ya Musa, Ya Khizr, you will find me from those who have a patience. Accept me as a student. Khizr said, you're going to have only 3 chances. After third chance, there is no alternate chance. He went with his teacher. Maybe all of you know what happened. First time, there was a tragedy. Musa couldn't take that, and he was going against his teacher or questioning his teacher. Khizr said, don't I ask you that you should have more patience? He said second time, third time, and once he said in third time, Khizr said, هذا فراق بيني وبينك. This is separation between me and you. Musa was shocked. Wow. In the land of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, lots of people whom they are not prophet, they can be like in such a great position. How could it be? And then while he was leaving, Khizr said, Ya Musa, ma fa'altu hadha min indi. I didn't do it by myself. This was a command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show that there is a reason that only and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the first lesson or the second lesson of the Imam Hussain al-Islam is the faith. And one of the things which can destroy the faith is ujb, pride. We shouldn't have anything. That's why we have beautiful ahadith and riwayat. One of the beautiful ahadith is from Holy Prophet. Holy Prophet says, لَيْسَ الْإِيمَانِ بِالتَّجَلِّي وَلَا بِالتَّمَنِّي. Faith is not to announce or to show something. وَلَكِنَّ الْإِيمَانِ مَا خَلَصَ فِي الْقَلْبِ. The faith is what you have in your heart as a sincere, precious from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with having no tiny size of ujb, no pride at all. Why? Because I have this faith for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا يؤمن عبد حتى يحب للناس ما يحب لنفسه من الخير والشر. Believer cannot be a believer unless he likes to others what he likes for himself, so on and so forth. And then the second obstacle of the faith and iman is amal, action. Lots of people, they think that since I have a strong faith, that can save me and I'm okay, without action, without deed, without amal. We don't have such a thing. Iman should be with amal, faith with action and deed. These two should go together. You cannot separate from these two. Although it's a lot to talk and discuss about that, because I want to reach to good points. That's why I want to skip lots of things. One of the obstacle or problems of the amal, action and deed also, is riya. To having some incentive other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Riya meaning I want to do it something, but while I'm doing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I want to associate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala someone else also. There's a riya. The hadith in the beginning of my speech from Imam Hussain, which I recited, is from the letter of Imam Hussain al-Islam to the people of Basra. People of Basra, Imam Hussain, he wrote a letter to different regions, peoples, and different personalities. One of the letter of Imam Hussain al-Islam is to the people of Basra. When he was calling people of Basra to his noble cause, he said, "O people, don't you see that ala inna sunnata qad umitat," the sunnats of Holy Prophet has been died. Umitat, there is no sunnat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa innal bid'ata qad uhiyat. Bid'at is something you will see everywhere. So what is the sunnats? The sunnat is you do everything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Azam al-Khaliq. If you do everything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you see God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is great and worthy of everything. Saghra ma dunahu. Whatever beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not deserved to be even mentioned. If Zainab Kubra salamullah alayha in that position, can you imagine that Zainab Kubra salamullah when she entered in the court of Ibn Ziyad, the governor of Kufa, Ibn Ziyad was making a fun of the family of Ahlul Bayt, Holy Prophet, by saying the false sentence, and he said, كَيْفَ رَأَيْتَ صُنْعَ اللَّهِ. How do you find the action of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala towards you? Didn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kill your brother, and so on and so forth? Zainab, from one side, she was staring and looking the heads of the shuhada on the arrows, and one side, she herself and all other people, they are in prison and all that, and Imam Sajjad, he cannot take his head up and all that. Zainab Kubra also, she answered, "Ma ra'aytu illa jamila." Whatever I saw from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all beauty. Beautiful. How could it be beautiful? While the heads of her brother and others on top of the arrows. She knew that whatever her brother he did for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for the people. If you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's the key. So why Sunnah of Holy Prophet was dead at that time? Obviously, not because people were not offering the prayer. No, people used to offer the prayer. In fact, from the army of Yazid, there was a call that Uqtul Hussein, we have to kill Hussein soon because the day of Ashura was on the day of Friday, so we can offer Friday prayer collectively. So they wanted to kill Imam Hussein alayhi salam so they can offer the Jama'at prayer. So it was not a problem of the prayers. It was not a problem of the masajids. There was a masajid, there was a prayer, there was a fasting. People, they used to have a good beard and all whatever you can call as obvious thing. That was missing point. That was not a missing things. The missing point was that Riyah. People, they used to do everything for whom? Not Allah, other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When one of the Ahl Sunnah's great ulama, Imam Bukhari, when he wanted to bring the excuse for the attack of tyrant Yazid to Kaaba, Kaaba was attacked by Yazid. So the one who was in charge, Hajjaj, he had two choices. One is to burn the Kaaba or not to listen to Yazid. So if he doesn't want to listen to Yazid, he's going against the Khalifa. If he burns the Kaaba, he's going against the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says because of the command of Yazid was stronger than disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why he did. So even Imam Bukhari, he said that whatever they did is because of the people, not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, the key here is if you have Allah and Allah, everything, you have nothing but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Riyah. If you have a Riyah, then you want to see the quantity of the amal, not quality. If you want to do only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't care about quantity. You want to do quality work. Why? Because after all, you want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Imam Hussein al-Islam, he announced clearly the secret of that is in tuti'u amri, if you obey me, if you follow me, if you come to my side, ahda ilaykum sabil rashad, I will lead you towards the best position. You're going to have a world and hereafter. By the way, those who have lots of wealth, position, or whatever, it's not going to save them. If anything can save them is to have a amal, action only and only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, lots of people, they have a tremendous amount of wealth, ample amount of wealth, but they cannot sleep. Why? Because they're thinking about lots of things, but not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The secret is if you think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you have only and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no riyah, then you're going to be in best position. That's why, according to hadith and riwayat, if you have a riyah, then always you're going to look about the quantity. Second, you kabbir al-amal al-qalil, you want to make a big of what you did, a small thing, because you want to show to people, show off that, oh, I did this. Yusaghir al-amal kathir, I mean the others what they do, great things, you want to make little. For example, anyone does good thing, you say, oh, well, he was did simple thing. once it come to me, oh, you know what, I did this while no one was doing that. All that is why? Because we forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have no mission and vision towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why a hadith and riwayah, Allahu Akbar, لا يستكمل عبد الإيمان حتى يكون في خمس خصال. If you want to have only and only action and amal and iman to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to have 5 things. One is at-tawakkul ala Allah. We have to rely all the time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tawakkaltu ala al-hayy alladhi la yamut. I want to rely to one who's not going to die. It's there all the time. Maybe if I want to do it to someone, maybe they're going to change their mind, but not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالتَّفْوِيضُ إِلَى اللَّهِ. After all, you have to, rely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also you have to leave it up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lots of time you want to do this and that, it's not happening. Leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالتَّسْلِيمُ لِأَمْرِ اللَّهِ. After you did your best, you have to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like what general people think. Imam Hussain alayhi salam is the best role model, example for us. He did everything. He did not sit and just he was thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, he did everything. While Ali Asghar was battling for the water, he took in front of the people. Why? Because he although knew that they're not going to feed him water, but yet he took. Once he did everything, whatever it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, Ridan biqada'ik. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I want to submit to you at this time. The submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the last stage, not beginning. We should not think that, oh, I want to know. وَالرِّضَى بِقَضَاءِ اللَّهِ. And we have to satisfy ourselves that whatever I did, after all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of that. Ridha meaning being happy with the outcome of what we do. Yes, we have dreams and we want to do this and that, and we have a long list of wishes and that. But after all, well, if nothing is happening, or this is, I want to happy. Okay. وَالصَّبْرُ عَلَى بَلَاءِ اللَّهِ. And having a patience in this path. So these are the beautiful guidelines from ahadith and riwayats, which indicates that if we want to have a iman, that iman should be consist of amal, action, deed, and the iman also should not have any type of ujb, pride, and the amal also should not contain even tiny size of riya, which is other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once I want to dedicate everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. Once they recite the communication of the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their iman will increase day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. Why we recite Quran is not affecting to us. When one of the companions of our fourth Imam, he asked him, after all these problems, when you were alone, and it was not easy for a son who was looking all these problems and being like in a position that he sees all that, and then yet he has like submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the companions said, what makes you to be strong? He said, whenever I had problems, I used to recite the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But recitation of the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as if someone giving me a power, a strength, unshakable strength. So that's why once you wake up midnight and open the book and recite, that Quran should give us power, strength. So by recitation of that, we shouldn't be here. We have to take off towards the highest horizon, highest possible position. Why? Because وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. The iman should increase. The strength should more and more. And then the second thing, obviously, in order to keep our iman and amal alive and more strength, according to hadith and riwayat, our eighth imam, he gave the advice to his companion Abu Salt. He said, Ya Abu Salt, if you want to have your iman and amal in the highest position, alive, good size, recite salawats. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Indeed, with recitation of salawats, our iman will increase, and nifaq and hypocrisy will go away from us, and the riyah will not going to attack us. That's why a hadith and riwayah says, whenever you want to recite salawat loudly, so you can have more and more blessings. Recite salawat. And obviously the third thing is crying for Imam Hussain alayhi salam. I said last night and the night before, and also Moulana also, he mentioned that crying is something can give us life. Not crying for the sake of crying. This tear should be meaningful tear. Once I'm sitting here and just with the name of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, I change myself. There is something which giving me power. With that, the tears is coming as a meaningful tears. Why? Because I want to relate myself. When we cry, what we say? Ya laytani kuntu ma'akum fanafuza fawzan 'azima. I wish I was with you, oh Imam, so I can be in highest position. Why? Obviously, the point that is our tear is representing our personality, our faith, our iman. So today we want to go to, inshallah, the door of Zainab Kubra salamullah alayha. Allahu Akbar. As I said, Zainab Kubra salamullah alayha, her personality is something no one can question. Her contributions towards Islam and the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is so high. Even our fourth Imam, when he was talking to Zainab Kubra salamullah alayha, he was paying high respect. Zainab salamullah alayha, when the marriage time came, Imam Ali alayhi salam, he wants to ask the permission of Zainab for Abdullah bin Ja'far. Zainab said, I have only one condition. What is your condition? The condition is, whenever I want to go with my brother anywhere, I can go freely. If Abdullah wants to accept this condition, I'm okay. And she marries. Time goes by, and on the year 61, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he wants to leave Medina. Abdullah bin Ja'far, he was sick. He cannot go with Imam Hussain. Zainab, she comes to her husband Abdullah and said, Ya Abdullah, you know my brother's position. He's leaving to Karabala. I want to go with him. Abdullah said, Oh Zainab, I want to come, but because of my position, I cannot. I want to send two of my son, Aoun and Muhammad. If Hussein needs any type of help, they can be there. And Zainab, she goes. And all the time, Zainab was going and coming back and doing all sort of things. Allahu Akbar. Zainab, on the day of Ashura, she prepares her sons, Aoun and Muhammad. A mother, it's not easy for mother to prepare her own sons for death. Zainab, she did. For sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because for Zainab, Azum al-Khaliq. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everything. And when Aoun Muhammad came to Hussein to get the permission, Imam Hussein alayhi salam was hesitant to give the permission. And he said, your mother, she's alone. And she needs your help and support. They said, oh uncle, oh mother, she sent us. She's the one who prepared us. And my father, he told us that if anything happened to Imam Hussein, go and help him. That's why we came. Allahu Akbar. When they got the permission, they went. Imam Hussein for any shaheed, before Shahadat, when they called to Imam Hussein, he used to go and bring the body, and all the women, including Zainab, they used to come and they used to weep. But for Hazrat Aoun Muhammad, when Imam Hussein brought the body of Aoun Muhammad, according to Hadith and Riwayat, Hamid bin Muslim, he narrates that I saw that Zainab, she used to be there all the time as a first lady to welcome the bodies, but for Aoun Muhammad, she never came out of the tent. Why? Because Zainab, she didn't want to embarrass her brother Hussein. And she did not weep for her son, Aoun Muhammad. And according to Sheikh Abbas Qumi, Aoun Muhammad were alone and no one was weeping, especially Hazrat Zainab Kubra Salamullah alayha. And to the point that when in the court of Yazid, and Yazid, he gave the permission and freed them, the heads of the Shuhada came and everyone was carrying the beloved one's head, and Zainab was crying for the head of her brother Hussein. And even the women around the court of Yazid, they asked in question, whose these two heads are? They doesn't have anyone and no mother. Zainab, she was staring and she was crying and weeping for her brother Hussein. And to the point that when Hazrat Zainab, she went back to Medina, according to Sheikh Abbas Qumi, when she went back to Medina and she entered her home, and once she entered her home, she saw the sons of her two sons, Aoun Muhammad's clothes, and once she was staring towards the room of Aoun Muhammad, she began to weep and crying and saying, oh my father Ali, oh my mother Zahra, I fulfill my promise towards Imam Hussein, and right now I'm ready to weep for Ali, Aoun Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. This is Zainab Kubra Salamullah alayha. All the time her goal was only and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the point that when she went to the grave of her mother Zainab, Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha, Hazrat Zainab was weeping and saying this beautiful sentence, oh mother, I came from Karabala with all the problems, with all the difficulties, but thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever happened, it happened fi sabilillah, on the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh mother, be happy with me about me, because I fulfilled the promise. But oh mother, what happened to me in those places? I cannot describe that. They snatched each other and I was alone.